Hey everybody, it's the TV Pessimist. I'm back. What did we talk about last time? Ripper Street? Yeah. Heroes was the last show we talked about where I was just like talking major shit on it. I fucking hate this. Um, the Cavalcade of Cartoon Comedy. Seth MacFarlane's Cavalcade of Cartoon Comedy. Um, Quick note with my reviews, I'm very weird about what I title things. So while this says Seth MacFarlane's Cavalcade of Cartoon Comedy, I just call it Cavalcade of Cartoon Comedy. Much like same thing with like Monty Python's Life of Brian. I just reviewed it as Life of Brian, and even more like egregiously, I think I used that word correctly. The Pro Skater series. Like whenever I talk about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, I'm just gonna be reviewing it as Pro Skater, even though I usually call it Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. Um, when I do Tony Hawk's Underground, it'll be Underground. Because I'm weird like that. But anyway, Cavalcade of Cartoon Comedy is a cavalcade of cartoon shit. Comedy's not funny at all. It's like Seth MacFarlane was probably bored from making Family Guy and was like, man, I want to show my other shitty stuff that was rejected, like that I didn't really care about showing. And it's a web series sponsored by Burger King. What? It's sponsored by Priceline and then Nike. What a fucking shill. Um, Looking through all of these episodes, it's like Super Mario rescues a princess, a dog on the $25,000 pyramid. Why Bob Marley should not have acted as his own attorney. I'm looking at all this shit and everything that I see, I'm like, it's not. None of this was funny. Only two stand out to me, and that's bad. And in a 50 episode series, web series, that's really bad. And especially when you call it Cavalcade a cartoon comedy, this is supposed to be funny, and it's not. That's bad. That's really bad. People like to shit on Family Guy, and the first couple of seasons of Family Guy, I really enjoy. There's a lot of stuff that Family Guy does now that I don't particularly enjoy. I haven't seen an episode of Family Guy in a long time, like a new one. Like even when spoiler alert, Brian Griffin died, I didn't give a shit. I was like, okay, like that's fuck. Why would you kill off such a great character? He just did it to fucking piss people off, and then brought him back. Like what the next episode was like, the fuck. Like he does dumb shit now with the show. Um, but like people like to shit on that show. And I think that he really shouldn't get shit on for having a series that was actually not that bad. When did American Dad come out? Because I think this was around the same time that American Dad was out too. I think both these shows were out. Cool. Okay, yeah. Both American Dad, the better show, and Family Guy were out when he released Cavalcade of Cartoon Comedy. Um, and it's like it was kind of like he was just like, man, I just want to show people that I can be funny, and it's not funny at all. And when the fuck did this show come out? Okay, so Cleveland show came out like a year after this, Cavalcade of Cartoon Comedy, and we all saw how not really funny that show was. That show was like had a few good moments. So Cavalcade of Cartoon Comedy has, like I said, a lot of unfunny segments. Think about like all the times in Family Guy. It's like remember that one time, and then it cuts back, like flashback, and it's like those are really hit or miss. Think about that, but every single one except like two are a miss. Like just really bad. Like okay, like really obscure references and just not funny, um, really non-funny jokes. The two that stand out to me that I can really talk about. All these other ones, like there's like a Scotsman. What is it? A Scotsman yells at a Scotsman who can't watch a movie without shouting at the screen. Those are stupid. He's just, oh, what are you doing? And he's just screaming at the. It's like, okay, that's not funny. But there are actually two that are okay. Um, the first one that is okayish. It's not the funniest thing, but it has a funny premise. is AIDS Patient Zero. A Canadian man and a monkey have gay sex. And it's just funny because like they're talking and they're like, "Hey, what's up, man? Hey, monkey, what are you doing?" Oh, I'm just, they're just having like, oh, and it's like, you want to have sex? And he's like, oh, sure. And then it cuts to like now we're talking, and it cuts to them in bed, and the monkey's on top and just like going at it with the guy, and it's got like this like 3D effect going around while "Take My Breath Away" is instrumental plays, and it's like it's funny because the shock value, and that's again really hit or miss. To me, it hit. I laughed, but then it kind of drags on. So not amazing by any means. My favorite of all of them was the bartender says, two men are in a bar and they're joking and they're like, "Hey, a horse walks in a bar and says blah 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 blah," and he's like, "Oh, that's funny." And then there's a horse. It pans out. There's a horse there. He's like, "Ha, really fucking funny joke." He's just like super pissed off, and it's like a black guy and a white dude or something that are telling a joke. And then the horse is like, "Hey, what if I said a black man walks in the bar?" And the black dude is like, "Hey, man, that's not funny. That's racist." He's like, "Oh, I can't tell a fucking joke." They're like, "Hey, wait a second. Why do you have like 6 beers?" He's like, fucking hooves, genius. Can't pick up a fucking drink," and like drops it. So funny and so like the horse is so angry for no fucking reason. He's just so like just aggravated and just so angry. It ends really lame. It's like everyone's like, "Hey, I think we got off on the wrong foot here," and it's like, "Let's start from the beginning." I'm sorry, like, and the horse is like, "Okay," and he's like, "My name's so and so," and the horse is like, "Sarah Jessica Parker." It's like, man, we've beaten that fucking bush how many times? We get it. She looks like a horse. She has a horse face. Funny, funny. Really like really lowbrow shit. Like, okay, that's funny, but that man, that punchline has been punched so many times. But like I said, overall shit. And if you want to go look it up, go waste your time if you want. I mean, I can't stop you. But that's my review. Where I just completely shit on Seth MacFarlane's shitty comedy. He's not the worst. A lot of people give him a lot of shit, but he's really not the worst. It's just this right here was not his best effort. It was just like, hey, this is kind of funny in my head. Let me put this down. Hey, you guys like that? No? Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna release it anyway, and I'm gonna get money for all these sponsorships. But that's my review of Seth MacFarlane's Cavalcade. You'll have a good one.